The assumptions that underscore the patient voice agenda. This batch of videos on this particular patient voice playlist came from an article I was asked to write in this booklet thing here that was published last year, this time last year. I had written a lot about it already as a reaction to thinking I was doing around the ISPOR and ISAQUEL conferences that I attended in the autumn of 2024. So when I was invited to take part in this booklet thing, my thinking had already fairly matured. I could just use what I'd already written. The book is called Patient Centricity in the Biopharmaceutical Industry, and it asks the question, are we nearly there yet? No, I don't think we are nearly there yet, and this video explains why. The patient voice agenda is based on two prevailing assumptions that do not reflect the lived experience of the majority of patients worldwide. There is a widening gulf between what researchers think they know about patient insights and what these are in reality. If this is not acknowledged and addressed, there is not much value in patient voice research. The emphasis on the patient voice is influenced by social, regulatory, and industry trends, which rest on the concepts or assumptions in reality of patient centered care and patient empowerment. These are the two assumptions. The received wisdom is that empowerment is enabled by increased access to quality information, such as through the internet, and a stronger focus on patient centered care. These form a sea change that has transformed individual patients into more informed and active participants in their own healthcare decisions. So this is assumption number one. And the pharmaceutical industry takes this at face value and assumes that patients possess valuable insights and preferences that can inform drug development and improve health outcomes. It recognizes that aligning treatments with patient needs and preferences boosts acceptance and adherence, which in turn drives demand and market success. Then, regulatory frameworks such as a raft of guidance from FDA also stress the importance of incorporating patient perspectives in drug development. All good so far, in theory. This is a significant cultural shift that elevates the status of patients from passive research subjects to important partners, where their experiences and narratives are valued as essential contributions to the development of new therapy. This has become politically important as patients now have a seat at the table of drug development cycles, becoming important stakeholders alongside providers, payers, policymakers, shareholders. The notion of the patient voice is anchored on philosophies around patient centered care. This assumes that there has been a shift away from the doctor centered biomedical model. This focused solely on physical disease aspects and overlooked patients' social and psychological experiences. According to this prevailing view, rarely questioned, healthcare provision has moved to a patient centered approach now. This modern approach redefines patients as active partners, emphasizing three core values. One, addressing individual needs and experiences. Two, encouraging patient participation in care. Three, fostering strong patient doctor partnerships through empathy, effective communication, and emotional intelligence. Patient centered care seeks to understand each patient's unique perspective and context, ensuring that treatment decisions align with their values through shared decision making. This means that doctors need to treat patients holistically, considering factors like illness history, emotional distress, culture, and socioeconomic status. Cutting edge drug development is wedded to the assumption that patient centered care is a widespread reality. You cannot have personalized medicine without it. The patient voice rests on the myth of widespread patient empowerment. If the patient voice rests on assumptions around patient centered care, then the latter is based on a whole range of assumptions around the in inverted commas, empowered patient in wider healthcare provision. This is the idea circulating for decades in policy making around the world that patients are increasingly viewed as consumers with the right to choose their medical care, similar to decisions about their own education or lifestyle, such as what food to eat, what information to consume, or what vehicle to drive. This marks a shift in the perception of the traditional paternalism of the healthcare professions, moving beyond merely treating illness. In chronic disease management, partnership and self-management are essential. This empowers individuals to handle symptoms, treatments, and lifestyle changes, forming the foundation of the expert patient model. This approach focuses on improving treatment adherence and enabling patients to use their skills and resources to control their health. By encouraging active participation and collaboration, healthcare providers support better health outcomes and create a more cooperative and effective healthcare environment. This is a really nice idea, and in many cases, this is precisely how some patients approach healthcare in partnership with their doctor, discussing decisions, bringing their lived experiences to the fore, and expecting this to be taken seriously by their doctors. In countries like the UK or USA, these patients are usually white, have higher incomes, higher education, a socially prestigious profession, middle class and above, living in urban centres or suburbia. They also draw upon a whole range of resources in their own backgrounds, such as economic and cultural capital, confidence, and assertiveness to feel comfortable enough to take an active role in their own healthcare decisions rather than being passive recipients of them. This is the type of patient that becomes a patient advocate, engages actively in patient communities, real or virtual, and takes part in patient voice research project. This means that patient voice may not be diverse enough. If patient voice research only includes patients from this empowered demographic, representing a tiny stratum of our societies, then it is exclusive, not inclusive. It offers a skewed view of what a typical patient is. It does not reflect the diversity of experience of the majority of people in our societies, where there is a real and growing empowerment gap. And if patient voice and the patient voice research agenda rests upon foundations that are based on assumptions that are not necessarily true, how solid are those foundations? Thank you for watching. Originally written by Mark Gibson, Leeds, United Kingdom, December 2024.